Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Tasha here from Pixie Mommy's Reborns. I will not be hopping in front of the camera today. I did spend the day working, and that entailed lots of sugar glider joeys and doing photo shoots and videos with them. So I am thoroughly disgusting at this point. So here to help me is Kenzie, Asir, and Nicholas. And the Twinkies, Ben and Berlin, who are having a siesta in the Moses basket. So I will just kind of focus on them as I talk. So I did a video the other day on reborn community, beggars and scammers. And I got a lot of positive feedback on that from you all. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate all of the comments, everyone keeping it positive, helpful, and sharing their experiences. So there's a few reasons for my follow-up. One was, of course, to thank you all. And there were some things that I didn't realize, like I didn't know as far as YouTube, that I did not have to actually like remove and block someone, that I could delete comments here. So if there was like excessive comments, I thought I had to like block the channel and that would make the comments disappear. I'm very bad with the technology. I believe it was Lynn, your channel, Littlefoot Nursery, had mentioned that. So thank you so much, Lynn. I think a few other people did it as well. I just, plucked her, remember her comment. And then also, a big thank you to, Reborn Mama 2017, did a video, on this subject as well. It was wonderful to hear your thoughts. I will actually include a link to her video on her thoughts on this subject in the description of this video. So I wanted to further go on to say, because it's kind of been determined that, some of this, or it might even be like half of this, as far as the begging, is young girls. So we're going to start there with that part of the community, because we are, in fact, on a whole, a community, and even these young girls, as much of an annoyance as it may be that they are, begging for free dolls, begging artists and collectors to give away their dolls, and as time wasting and as annoying as that may be, it's deeply concerning. It's concerning to me as a mother. I have 3 daughters. I have 1 son and 3 daughters. And, the sophistication of criminals these days, and the internet being used to lure young girls, and bait that they use is just very scary. And so it's very, very scary when for instance, I get a message like, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm 11 years old. I love your reborns. My mom can't afford to buy one." They may go into a little bit of whatever family. You go on, say, their Instagram page, and you see, it does have their age. It has where they live, where they go to school, like a lot of personal information, friends tagged, also, kids, these days it's like everything's game on their, pages. So, that opens them up right there. And then they're on, talking to strangers. And, my fear is they're going to hit a page that was, set up as a trap by, say, a pedophile. What happens when it's, okay, I'll give you a doll. I just need your address. Or even worse, I'll meet you and bring you the doll. but maybe they will say, no one can know because I don't want to, have everybody asking me. So not even your parents. Like, people that prey on children can be convincing. They can convince children. So that is super, super scary. As a community, these young girls are here because they like the dolls, they like the reborns, they have a dream of having one. They are, in fact, a part of our community. They may grow up to save their money and actually buy dolls and, be a part of the community in that way. For now, I feel like these young girls are in grave danger. I feel like it's something that's kind of growing, and not subsiding, maybe because the reborns are becoming more popular, more readily available. There's new artists popping up all the time. There's more and more people, kind of not afraid to share their hobby and joining here, which is fantastic and wonderful because I'm here. I'm happy. I'm enjoying. I see a lot of other people enjoying. But again, with that is a growing concern for the safety of our youth in this community. So, 2 heads are better than 1, 5 heads are better than 2, and so on and so on. Love to get everyone's thoughts. If anyone has any ideas of how to help these young girls and give them some protection, how to stop this. Of course, yes, it's wasting our time. It's annoying. Some of them can be very persistent. Some of them get rude. It's uncalled for, but the bottom line is they are children. And, that's scary. And many of us are mothers. We are watching this happen. So, is it a matter of messaging them back and telling them the dangers? Is it a matter of going further and trying to reach an adult on the other end on every place that you can and just taking the time to do that because it's important? I don't know. Part of it, and as I shared in my first video, is, I think if we all kind of shut it down, remove the comments, ignore, let the people know that if they, continue, they're going to be blocked. Another thing was, on the giveaways, unless you have set up a giveaway that you're asking for an essay or people to give reasons why they think they should win the doll because you're personally handpicking on, what story touches you. If that's how you're doing it, of course, by all means. But if you're setting up a random giveaway, if everyone starts just disqualifying the people that are up on there begging, which will include the young girls that are on there begging as to why they deserve this doll, as if it's not a random pick, if they automatically get disqualified out of all of these giveaways and they're told this, why, they may stop doing it. So that might be part of it. Again, then we have us as collectors, we have artists. So, it would be fantastic to all put our heads together with regard to the safety of our youth in this community. That, to me, it's a growing concern. The other end of it is the grown woman. And, a lot of that comes with the very horrific sob stories that we all feel very sad for those who these stories are true, but yet it's just so unfair for them to be playing on our emotions to try to guilt us into giving away especially belongings that were very expensive to us or very dear to us, or even if it's, say, a doll that we have for resale. Well, obviously we're selling it for a reason because we need the money. Something happened in life and we need the money. Not all of us selling dolls are selling them just because we want to buy another one. Some of us, sell them because something has happened. And yes, some of us do sell to go on to get a newer sculpt or something else they want. And we have every right to do that. You worked for it, you bought it, you own it. and you have every right to, put it up for sale and not have to be made to feel guilty because you're doing so, and you're not going to give that doll away to someone just because they have, a sad story, because everyone's got, troubles in life and sad stories, period, some worse than other, but, we've all, suffered from things. So yeah, that's another part of it, which just leads me to, a quick story. I have a young woman that follows me. Of course, this story has no name. This is just an anonymous, the anonymity for this, young woman. But I really, really admire this young woman. She follows me on my Instagram. She really likes Asir. She loves Asir. And I believe that she watches some of my videos on here too. And she has, I know she has one baby that I think she painted herself. That was like a store-bought baby that she painted with very inexpensive paints. But she loves this baby. It's flatly adorable, actually. And does all kinds of great fun photos of just, outings and what she's doing around the house and playing and just, all sorts of stuff. And I really admire that, she helped herself, she has, said that, she's on a low income, she does what she could afford. I really admire that. Well, the other day when I posted, on Instagram about the begging, my message thing pings, and, it's this young woman, and she said, I never begged you for dolls. I only say your dolls are beautiful. And I said, no, it's not, that wasn't directed at you. And, she went on to tell me that, and I think she had mentioned this previously, but then maybe we got more into conversation. She had been known, and she divulged this to me in the community, I guess a few years ago, as a beggar and a scammer all around the community. Or at least this is what, she has told me. And, she said that she did do that, and that she was not on the proper medication. And, things have changed, and she mentioned that she found God, and she's now on the correct medication for her mental illness and would never ever do that again. And she understood it was wrong. My gosh, I give this young woman so much credit, for not only turning things around, but caring enough to want to build friendships and do it upon honesty and say, hey, look, this is what I did in the past. It was wrong. It's not what I'm doing now. Here's what I've done to change. Is that not fantastic? I just think that that's so wonderful. And again, I give her so much credit, and she's a really sweet person. Just like I will come on and say, I'm an alcoholic, an addict, I'm sober 10 years. This is a bit about my past. Especially if it's like a need to know, if you want people, to know something for a reason. But it's not so easy to stand up and admit, hey, that was me. I was one of those people, that you're talking about. So again, I give her a tremendous amount of credit. And with that said, of course, think of her of, how many of these, women that we say, well, they're grown women, they darn well should know better, and it's so unfair to us. Maybe some of them are not well right now, and that's a very good possibility. Just the piece of spilling out some pretty gory and horrific details like that, things and stories that I've heard just like at the drop of a hat, just out of the blue to a perfect stranger. And I'm talking about past, saying, I've suffered a loss or something like that. Like, that's understandable. We all, talk to people, and, especially there's some very kind people in this community, people that will pray for you. So I don't mean that, but what I mean, and and I know many of you have experienced like the really, really, well, Reborn, Mama 2017 was talking about, like, one person, it was like, they were just messaging like, one horrific thing after another just happening and happening. And like, how could all that even happen to one person in like 1 week? Like that sort of thing. You have to know that those people are not necessarily, thinking clearly. Let me put it that way, just to be, nice. So with that thought in mind, I'm very happy, like I said in my first video, that I did not want to turn this into a hoopla of, a witch hunt or being mean to these people that are begging or anything to that nature. And I was very happy to see, just by the response of the comments, that no one was doing that, and everyone was just saying, yes, this has happened to me, and just little suggestions of what we can do, and that was it. There was no like, name calling or meanness about, and I just want to say I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really appreciate that. I know, I'm new in the community, but I've now been here long enough to see the the dips and the bumps of some things. And of course, I'm sure there's be more, and I kind of wondered to myself in the beginning, my goodness, how could it be this bad with drama and people, being mean, and people must just bring this upon themselves, because how could that just happen? It takes two to tango, like that sort of thing, so to speak. But then when you really see things unfold from different sides, and, for my position, like, I'm just standing watching, it's not happening necessarily to me, it's just, something I'm seeing, and you realize that it's just a lot more complicated than that. Some is not. Some you see are just kind of direct, whatever. But some is, it's very complicated and convoluted how everything got started, and, it's unfortunate. So, this is one thing that I'm hoping as a community, it touches us all, our concern for our youth, our concern in not being unkind to anyone that's not mentally stable, like those sorts of things. And ways that, again, we can come together. I am not one to beat a dead horse. This is, of course, the second consecutive video I've now made on this subject. So this is like the last video, unless, there's some burning need that I'm gonna continue on this subject. I'd like to see if we can just put our heads together and figure out a little more, especially for the young girls, the concern, and then move on, because, I have stuff I want to, do with my channel and things that I want to share. So I'm not going to, drag this out. You're not going to see this in every video that pops up. But I did want to kind of tie it all together, bring up the few things that I did not in the first video. I wanted to thank everyone, for their help and support. I would love to see more of you make videos of your thoughts and your experiences on it, and what you think that we all together as a community can, do, if we're all kind of doing the same things to help kind of combat this, because it is very, again, unfair to collectors that work really hard and save and do all that we do. It's certainly extremely unfair to artists who make their living like this, and that we kind of have to walk around, even though we know it's not our responsibility. It's like after you sift through, all these sad stories and stuff, you're just kind of going about your day, just thinking, and, in the back of your head, you're thinking to yourself, you're almost feeling guilty for having what you have, and that's just not right. So Anyways, that's about it. I want to wrap this up so it's not forever. So Ben in Berlin and Kenzie, Asir, and Nicholas, again, say happy Thursday. They would like to ask you to don't forget to press that like button, to share with your friends, to subscribe, and please comment if you would like. All right. Thank you all for watching. God bless.